Hi, Jackie here, showing a layout for A Little Magpie using Simple Stories book fair collection. For this layout, I'm mainly using the 6x8 pad. I do have the yellow pattern paper, as you can see on my desk, is from the same collection, and it's the Journal Elements paper. And I just want to use the yellow as the background paper. And a photograph of James. I'll explain to you a bit more about the story behind the photograph. So mainly for this layout, I am going to be using the B side of the pattern papers. So I'm choosing the papers that don't have anything relating to the school theme like this collection is. So anything that's got pencils on, or there's one, I think there's one or two pattern papers that's got the maths elements and science elements on it. So I don't use those. I'm just using the standard pattern papers, if you will. So I've chosen my selection. I'm going to, I've printed my photograph off, which is 3x4. I've added it to white cardstock to give it a small white border, and I'm just using these two pattern papers as layers behind my photograph. So the first one is a multiple spotted one, and then the next one is like a mint green with stars on it. And I just put them straight onto the behind the photograph, and then I do add 3D foam to the back of this photo mat just to give it a bit more definition. You'll see in a minute where I've cut all my my strips of paper down, but this red one and the blue one, I do put them together in a minute, are the same patterns. So I do move that red one. I was going to take the red one off and not use it, but it does end up being on my layout. You'll see it shortly. And before I do all that, I do distress all the edges, around all the edges. So while I'm faffing around with trying to figure out how I'm going to put my papers down, I will just explain to you a bit about the photograph. So I think James must be about 2.5, maybe 3 on this photograph. And I came back into the bedroom and he was sat on the bed, in our bed. And I said to him, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm reading just like Dad." So I obviously had to take a photograph, and this is years before I started scrapping. This is when we lived in Preston. So this is a good, I don't know, 7-8 years maybe before I've even started scrapping. So I've always taken photographs, and I thought it was just appropriate now to document it. I think I have used this photograph before, but I don't think I've actually documented the story. I've just used the photograph. So on this pattern paper in the 6x8 paper pad, rows of books. So I've just trimmed them out, and I'm going to use them on the right hand side, as you can see, slightly overlapping them on my layout. And here I am, I'm just going through my little embellishment tray with bits and pieces in, with die cuts, and just trying to choose die cuts that are going to go with the photograph and the story. So I'm keeping away from anything that's school related as such. So once I've gone through all this, I've also got the 12x12 tag sheet, and I've cut out several tags. So as you can see, there's 2 on the left hand side, one that says bookworm and one that's the red one, which I've already stuck down. So I'm going to just position this now to the left hand side of my pattern paper. Thankfully I can't find my T-square ruler, so thankfully it's got grids on this pattern paper, so I can use the grids to help me line things up. And then I'm just going to put trim these down, and I'm going to add those to the right hand side of my photograph, just slightly overlapping. I do have to pull them back up because I put them too far down where I wanted them to be. but I was able to, as it wasn't stuck down permanently, I was able to just pull them up and put them in the right position. I have used the pieces that I've cut off. I've used one as part of another element on the page, and you'll see it shortly, and the other one I'll just leave with the die cuts, and I can hopefully be able to use it in one of my next layouts. So here I am, I'm just putting the smaller piece down and then just overlapping that piece. And as I said, for my title, I'm going to use the foam stickers, and it's going to say, and I'm using just one that says reading, which I'm going to put down shortly. So I'm just adding some 3D foam to a couple of the die cuts that I'm going to put around the page. I love this cute little owl with glasses on and reading a book, and I thought, and the glasses on the owl around like the glasses on that James are wearing as well. So there was quite a few elements I'd taken from the die cut pack, but this didn't seem to fit in with my design. So I'm still messing around trying to figure out which ones I can use. Oh yes, I do use that, but it goes to the top right of the layout. So there's that one that says book smart, the phrase that says book smart. So I was going to put it there, but then it overlaps the apple on the tag and also part of the photograph. You won't be able to see the book that James is holding. So I found this one as well that says cool. So I just put that there. And then I just want to do my 3 little clusters. So I just punched 3 circles from the spotted paper that I used to go behind the photograph. Again, I cut them down and distressed all the edges. I also distressed all the edges previously as well to all those strips that I'd done, as well as the tags. So I've got 3 little spots. I've got one top, one bottom left, and then where I've left the paper at the top right, you'll see how I'm going to do that shortly. I'm going to put the other one up the 3rd circle, or semicircle, half circle now, as it is, up the top. Distressing the edges, and then I don't want that word floating, so I am going to use one of the strips of books that I've just cut down as an anchor. Oh, things are falling off the top of my laptop. So I do put it down, and I've put it down too far up. I don't know why I couldn't see that it was the words was hanging at the top of the page. But again, I was able to lift it up and move it slightly down. So I have put 3D foam to the back. I will leave a link to all the products I've used in the description box below. Mainly use the Simple Stories book fair collection for this one. So I've just put in those book elements down, and then I'll cut this down a bit further, and I'm just going to add that underneath. So I've got another element. The other thing I did use with this collection is some of the July A-Little Magpie embellishment from the July A-Little Magpie embellishment kit. Sorry, I can't speak here. And I'll show you. I've only used a few things from it. There's as usual. There's absolutely loads in there. So I found my title, so I'm just going to use it saying reading. And I was looking if there was something else I could put, which there wasn't. I did put the title down too far down. So again, another thing I'll be removing shortly. And then I found some stars. So I've just added some stars from the foam sticker sheet around the page. I've moved that reading up so it's actually overlapping the paper, as you can see, and then using alphabet soup, Doodlebug, alphabet soup, alphas in mint, I add Just Like Dad. And then I've added the little bow underneath the title from the A Little Magpie Embellishment Kit, and 2 pieces of this ribbon which I staple onto the tags, as you can see here. And then I think I do it off camera. There's some lovely little daisies, so I've just added 3 daisies in my embellishment cluster packs part. So I've got one at the top, one at the left, and one underneath the word that says Book Smart. So I'm just adding this like open book die cut that I'd taken out. And then I think I finish off, yes, I do finish off with some decorative brads around the page. So again, trying to keep it in the cluster areas where the circles are. So here's a few close-ups. The Book Smart, there's the brad, the ribbon, the little embellishment from the embellishment kit, and that is my layout. Here's a few close-ups. Thank you very much for stopping by. Please like and subscribe to our channel. If you've got any comments, please leave them below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for stopping by. Till next time. Bye.